Songs whispered, names unmade, in dust that memory betrayed. No sound declared where I had been, just spaces folding from within. Reflections blurred behind the frame, and none of them would speak my name. 1,000 shapes passed through the wall, but none could prove they lived at all. They moved like thoughts you almost feel, like truths too faint to be called real. I reached for them with open sight, but nothing stayed, not even light. Shadows I don't know still pass me by, with eyes too wide to justify. They trace the places I once fled, and walk the paths I never said. They know the rooms where I won't sleep, where something waits but doesn't weep. Some faces change before they stay, as if they feared the marks they made. And every echo felt too strange, as if my voice had rearranged. These figures don't belong to time, they move outside the lines I climb. And though I stand in still sharp air, I know they're close but never there. Shadows I don't know still pass me by, with eyes too wide to justify. They trace the places I once fled, and walk the paths I never said. They know the rooms where I won't sleep, where something waits but doesn't weep. Shadows I don't know keep pulling near, not made of fear, not made of clear. They carry questions I outgrew, yet still they feel like something true. Not ghosts, not dreams, but something slow. Shadows I don't want to know, still they pass, still they stay, still they stand where I can't say.
The hallway spoke in quiet drops, each step between the echo stops. The floor remembered softer sound, now every footstep feels unbound. Paint peeled back where time once stayed, the frames on walls had long decayed. Still water knew where it had been, a rhythm slow beneath the skin. No door remained that I could close, just open paths the silence chose. A ceiling hum, a breathing wall, the storm grew loud inside the hall. The rain in the hallway, soft but deep, it wakes the things I tried to keep. The ghosts of thoughts that never dried still wonder where the echoes hide. Each so near, but time erased what I could hear. Now puddles hold a muted grace, where once was laughter, now a trace. No questions asked, no answers pressed, just rain that speaks what's not confessed. And though the hall has lost its frame, it sings in rhythm, not in name. Rain in the hallway, soft but deep, it wakes the things I tried to keep. The ghosts of thoughts that never dried still wander where the echoes hide. Each droplet calls what went astray. It's not the storm that fades. No thunder cracked, no lightning flashed, just memories the water splashed. A past unclaimed, a path not crossed, still standing where the sound got lost. Rain in the hallway, hear it bend. It doesn't stop, it just pretends. It soaks the names I won't repeat. It washes out what once felt sweet, and still it falls, it still replays the rain inside that never stays. Still it rains, still it knows, still it hums where no one goes. Oh.
The steps I take don't echo loud, just drift like dust inside of a cloud. Each footprint fades before it lands, erased by time's unyielding hands. I walked on hours left unseen between the cracks of might have been. No clocks to break, no bells to chime, just silence carved beneath the time. It's not the past that holds me still, but all I didn't say or feel. A pause between what was and seems, a tremble made of fallen dreams. Time beneath me, soft and deep, holds the things I couldn't keep. Every name I never spoke, every vow I let be broke. I stand above what I can't see, and still it rises under me. The road I took was never mine. It turned before I saw the sign. I walked in shapes that had no end and found no truth I could defend. But in the hush before regret, there's more than loss I won't forget. Not every silence means I'm lost. Some lessons bloom in what they cost. Time beneath me, soft and deep, holds the things I couldn't keep. Every name I never spoke, every vow I let be broke. I stand above what I can't see, and still it rises under me. I read I know, time beneath me doesn't go. Couldn't sway, but no wind spoke, just silence pressing through the smoke. The furniture forgot its place, and shadows softened every trace. The ceiling peeled in quiet waves, as if the past began to cave. No photograph could hold its frame, no memory stayed with my name. The wall still knew what I outgrew, the floor kept steps it never knew, and I became what stillness drew, a breath that couldn't push on through. I faded with the room not gone, just blurred where daylight never shone. Not here, not far, not lost or found, but part of everything unbound. It wasn't grief, it wasn't peace, just something waiting for release. The chair still faced an empty wall, no one had spoken since the fall. And in that hush, I wore no name, just drifted further into frame. I didn't leave, I didn't stay, the room just took the rest away. The colors dulled, the corners bent, and I became the discontent. I faded with the room not gone, just blurred where daylight never shone. Not here, not far, not lost or found, but part of everything unbound. It wasn't grief, it wasn't peace, just something waiting for release. The air grew thick with all I meant, with words I never quite had sent. I was the hush before the sound, still anchored but not truly bound. I faded with the room I know, not buried deep, just soft and low. A flicker in the corner stayed, where what I felt began to fade. No closing door, no final tune, just silence folding into noon. Still I'm there, still I'm wide, still I wait where echoes hide. The chair still waits, the air stands still, a quiet that no voice can fill. Once every wall would hum and shake, now silence sings for silence sake. I trace the dust where music slept, the echoes that my fingers kept. Each step I take, the floor holds tight, as if it's guarding yesterday's light.
There used to be a living sound, a pulse that danced without a bound. Now all I hear are spaces wide that used to hold the world inside. I miss the noise, the reckless tones, the way it filled my hollow bones. I miss the clash, the cry, the thrill, the proof that I was standing still. No melody remains to chase, just silence folding into space. A laugh once carved into the wall, now buried under quiet's thrall. The notes that made the ceiling shake, replaced by things I didn't make. I held the volume like a flame, a roaring fire that knew my name. Now all that's left is gentle air that doesn't know or doesn't care. I miss the noise, the reckless tones, the way it filled my hollow bones. I miss the clash, the cry, the thrill, the proof that I was standing still. No melody remains to chase, just silence folding into space. Noise was never just for sound, it held the truth I never found. It told me I could still exist. Now every sound just feels like mist. I miss the noise that made me burn the world alive at every turn. The thunder deep behind my eyes that taught me how to recognize. Now quiet keeps what I avoid, but still I miss the blessed noise. Still I miss, still I wait for echoes time would not translate. Along the walls that time forgot, a sound once carved, now just a thought. It lingered once, but not for long. A trace that never quite felt wrong. A name not shouted, barely said. It trembled through what once was red. Not caught in love, nor lost in fear, just floated out, then disappeared. It wasn't claimed, it wasn't kept, but wandered through the years. I wept no vow beneath it, no parade, just stare around the sound it made. My name once echoed in the dark, not sharp, not loud, just barely stark. It touched the stone, then brushed the glass, then drifted slowly as it passed. A voice once known, now undefined, still reaching out through quiet mind. The place it spoke has changed its face, no longer home, no longer grace. And still I walk where once it rang, with only silence where it sang. No letters carved, no pages bent, no tether to the time it spent. Yet even when that loses sound, still carries weight beneath the ground. My name once echoed in the dark, not sharp, not loud, just barely stark. It touched the stone, then brushed the glass, then drifted slowly as it passed. A voice once known, now undefined, still reaching out through quiet mind. hopes in air. It circles still in places bare, not as a call, not as a cry, but something shaped by how we try. My name once echoed and it stayed in corners where the past won't fade. Not loud enough to be recalled, but never truly lost at all. It haunts the hush, it bends the breeze, still drifting through forgotten keys. Still it sounds till it comes. Still it waits for what becomes. The table stood untouched by years, a room still holding silent fears. Chairs pulled back from what was said, like secrets left beside the bed. The window faced a sky too still, its light too soft, its warmth too ill. The air had words it wouldn't share, a sense that I was never there. I walked through doorways shaped by doubt, each frame too thin to let me out. I listened close, but all I heard was absence posing as a word. There's no place for me there, not now, not then, not in the laughter or the wind. The walls don't echo with my name, just keep repeating someone else's claim. No empty seat, no glance, no stare. There's simply no place for me there. The floor remembered every step, but not the reasons why I left. The photographs had blurred my face, as if I'd never touched the place. Even the mirror turned away, refusing what I came to say. And every silence in that space felt carved around a missing trace. There's no place for me there, not now, not then, not in the laughter or the wind. The walls don't echo with my name, just keep repeating someone else's claim. No empty seat, no glance, no stare. There's simply no place for me there. I tried to fit the shape they knew, but never matched what I came through. And now the room just breathes me out, a home without a single doubt. There's no place for me there, no space, no sound, just scattered memories unbound. They built it up with every lie, but never asked the reason why. I walked away and felt it bare, because there's no place for me there. Oh, not in their light, not in their song. I knew I never did disturbed the heavy air. It knew my name but didn't care. Each thought I shaped remained unheard, like pages lost without a word. I sat where voices used to be, a room that never noticed me. The corners held what light forgot, a stillness time itself had caught. I didn't steal, it didn't flee, it slowly took the sound from me. Not all that's quiet wants to hide, some truths just slip and stay inside. The silence was mine, not born from fear. It lived in me, then disappeared. It shaped the edge of every breath, a language carved by what was left. Not broken, not erased by time. I claim the hush was mine. The walls were bare, the night was still, but something stirred beneath my will. Not absence, not a void to fill, just presence quiet, soft and real. The world can shout and never hear, but silence taught me how to steer. It wasn't loss that held me close, it was the space I needed most. The silence was mine, not born from fear. It lived in me, then disappeared. It shaped the edge of every breath, a language carved by what was left. Not broken, not erased by time. I claim the hush was mine. Some speak with fire, some speak with rain. I spoke with stillness, not with pain. No echo proves the voice was true, but I still lived in what I knew. The silence was mine, it didn't flee. It stayed and made a home in me. Not born of wounds, not stitched by shame, but forged from all I overcame. No song could tell what I defined, but I was there, and that was mine. I was there, I remain. The silence knew and said my name.
The morning found no shape in me, just outlines where I used to be. The window stared without a flame, as if the sun forgot my name. Each object held a different way, but none could bend or shift my state. The clock went on, the room stood still, both strangers to what I might feel. No shadows moved, no whispers stirred, just empty air that knew no word. The world outside began to rise, but left no spark behind these eyes. Empty before the light could show, before the day began to glow. Not broken, not asleep or blind, just something light could never find. It came too late to shape my core, or teach me what the dawn was for. The mirror held a face half formed, a silence neither kind nor warm. It was never meant to stay. It only touched then slipped away, and in its path I stayed behind, still waiting for what light won't find. Empty before the light could see the place that once resembled me. It crossed my face, it crossed my hands, but never learned where I could stand. I wasn't lost, I wasn't gone, just never fit where light moved on. Still I wait, still I feel for light to prove that I was real.
The wall was pale, the light unsure, like something lost but never pure. A shape once known, now undefined, a shade that time refused to find. No lines remain where breath once drew, just hollow space and hints of blue. The room forgot what it once held, and silence spread where stories dwell. No memory paints what won't return, no flame remains for ash to burn. The frame still stands, but not the dawn. It holds the hue, the color of gone. The color of gone is not just gray, it shifts in words we couldn't say. It hides in corners, speaks in air, saw it once inside a name before it drifted into frame. Not black, not white, not known to light, a tone that turns and slips from sight. It lingers deep in what we lose, between the lines we never choose. And when the voice begins to yawn, it whispers out the color. The color of gone is not just gray, it shifts in words we couldn't say. It hides in corners, speaks in air, and leaves its mark without a care. A truth that fades before it's drawn, that's how I know the color of gone. The color of gone stays out of frame. It doesn't answer, doesn't name. It lingers long past what we see. It's all that's left when none is me. I wear its light when I'm withdrawn, alive inside. The color of gone. Still it fades, still it breathes, still it lives in broken sheets. paper waited without demand, a page untouched by any hand. The ink stayed quiet, lines stayed bare, but something hovered in the air. No letter knew what could begin, no sentence dared to hold what's in. I stared too long, then looked away. Some words refused to ever stay. Not every thought was meant to speak, not every truth is made for ink, but silence builds in empty space, a weight that time forgot to trace. These are the things I never wrote, the tides inside I couldn't quote. No verse, no phrase could hold that heat, so I let meaning face defeat. No poems marked what I've been through, but every blank line somehow new. A journal waits without a plea, yet every page still watches me. The spine untouched, the corners bare, still echo what I didn't dare. It wasn't fear that stopped the pen, but knowing I'd relive it then. So I let stillness fill the frame and walked away without a name. These are the things I never wrote, the tides inside I couldn't quote. No verse, no phrase could hold that heat, so I let meaning face defeat. No poems marked what I've been through, but every blank line somehow new. The truth was never made for ink, it stayed where memory can sink. I held it close but wouldn't show. Some things are meant to only grow. These are the things I couldn't trace, but still they echo in this place. No ink to bind, no voice to lend, yet they remain and never end. Each page untouched, each line unwrote, still holding all I couldn't know. Still they breathe, still they stay, still they wait, where words decay. The porch light hummed against the dusk, its glow too faint to call a trust. A door left open just enough for ghosts of days that weren't so rough. The couch still leaned the way it did when silence asked if hearts could rid the weight of all we didn't say before we each just walked away. There was no sign, no parting sound, just stillness pressing from the ground. A hush not born from peace or grace, but something lost we couldn't face. In the quiet of then, we almost knew what stayed unsaid still pulled us through. Not loud enough to break or bend, but deep enough to never end. No final word, no written line, just moments buried out of time. The window pane held fading streaks of rain that fell for softer weeks. I watched them slip like every plan we held too loosely in our hands. No blame was cast, no bridges torn, just one us knowing we were never near. In the quiet of then, we almost knew what stayed unsaid still pulled us through. Not loud enough to break or bend, but deep enough to never end. No final word, no written line, just moments buried out of time. If we had screamed, if we had tried, would love have lingered or just died? Instead we let the silence win and named it safety deep within. In the quiet of then, and I still remain among the stillness, not the blame. No echo sharp enough to save, just quiet carved where we once gave. No last embrace, no hand to lend, just what we felt and couldn't send. Still I wait, still I know some silences refuse to go.
They move like air across the room, too soft to break, too fast to bloom. No words were left for me to keep, just traces buried under sleep. Each syllable escaped the day, unnoticed where I couldn't stay. Their meaning hovered just out wide, a message never turned or tried. I heard the shape but not the chord, a sound that knocked but missed the door. The tone was close, the feeling far, a comet fading into scar. Voices that passed me without pause, like winds that never named their cause. They brushed my skin, then disappeared, leaving a quiet I once feared. No echo stayed, no answer came, just silence humming through my name. They never turned, they never knew the shadow I was speaking through. I waited long, I reached too slow, and watched them vanish with the glow. Some truths arrive but never land, they slip like dust from open hands, and what was meant gets torn apart, a note that never found its start. Voices that passed me without pause, like winds that never named their cause. They brushed my skin, then disappeared, leaving a quiet I once feared. No echo stayed, no answer came, just silence humming through my name. They never saw the space I filled, the ache I kept too loud, too still. But still I wait with hands unclosed for one that speaks and finally knows. Voices that passed me won't return, but left behind what I must learn. Not every sound is meant to stay, some only come to drift away. Still I remember what they meant, though none were clear and none were sent. Still they move, still they bend, still
changed, but not the air. It held the ghost of why I cared. The walls had shifted shade and form, but I remained against the storm. A chair still faced the window stare, as if it waited unaware. No clock to end, no sign to show, just time unraveling slow. I thought the echo meant to stay, but every sound had slipped away. I let the hours turn to wait and missed the chance to separate. I stayed too long where silence grew, where nothing left still felt like you. The light had moved, the voice was gone, yet something made me linger on. I waited there without a word for things I dreamt but never heard. The mirror cracked from side to side, but never showed what I denied. And though the dusk had drawn its line, I stood between the years and spine. Some places speak without a name and keep you still beneath the blame. I tried to leave but lost the way. My shadow chose instead to stay. I stayed too long where silence grew, where nothing left still felt like you. The light had moved, the voice was gone, yet something made me linger on. I waited there without a word for things I dreamt but never heard. The floor remembered every pace, each step I took to leave this place. But memory has hands that pull, and I obeyed until it's full. I stayed too long, and now I fade with pieces time forgot to trade. The world moved on, but I remained, a name unspoken, unexplained, still standing in a place long gone, where I belonged, but not for long. Still I breathe, still I fall, still I wait behind it all. Flicker past the corner wall, too soft to speak, too real to call. Not memory, not fully gone, just something brushed and carried on. It wasn't light, it wasn't sound, but something that just stayed around. A part of you not meant to stay, still hiding somewhere in the day. I turned to find the shape you wore, but nothing held the air no more. Just that same glance from years before, the one that asked for nothing more. It's the glimpse that lingers, won't release, a breath that's never found its peace. Not loud enough to be recalled, but sharp enough to feel it all. Still standing there behind the glass, the moment that refused to pass. The colors dulled, but held their pose, like stories fading as they froze. You weren't a voice, you weren't a name, but something in the world's own frame. The shadows stretched and quiet None could match your fleeting trace. Just one soft pull across my sight, enough to keep you close each night. It's the glimpse that lingers, won't release, a breath that's never found its peace. Not loud enough to be recalled, but sharp enough to feel it all. Still standing there behind the glass, the moment that refused to pass. I reach, I fail, I call too late, but something's bent beneath their weight. You never left, not all the way. Just pause within a half-lived day. It's the glimpse that stays, though nothing stays. The echo lost in quiet haze. It doesn't speak, it doesn't cry, but still it's there when I pass by. It never asks, it never ends, just stays where we forgot to mend. Still it glows, still it turns, the glimpse that waits for what still burns. The air still holds what slipped away, like echoes pressed in disarray. Not lost, not found, just left behind, a fragment out of place and time. The streets forgot the shape I wore, no footprints left along the floor. I wasn't gone, but not quite there, a flicker fading into air. It's not the silence that I fear, but what still lingers when it's near. A name half spoken, caught mid-breath, a shadow leaning into death. Stranded in memory, no way through, where nothing ends and nothing's true. A place I visit in my sleep, that never gives but always keeps. It holds me fast, it won't let go, a home I never got to know. The windows fog with thoughts unclaimed, still whispering what can't be named. I tried to leave but stayed instead, inside the world, inside my head. It bends around the things I missed, a blur beneath an unseen twist. No mirror shows the way I feel, only this loop that won't unseal. Stranded in memory, no way through, where nothing ends and nothing's true. A place I visit in my sleep, that never gives but always keeps. It holds me fast, it won't let go, a home I never got to know. If time could speak, it wouldn't lie, it'd just forget the reasons why. And in that pause I still remain, not lost in love but lost in name. Stranded in memory, tied to threads of almost lived and nearly said. I carry pieces I can't show, to places no one else will go. The road moves on but not for me, I'm still where I was meant to be. Oh, still stayed, still waiting to be replayed. Oh, A path once drawn but never shared still lingers where the silence stared. Not etched in stone nor marked in thread, just something lost that wasn't said. The sky once blinked, then turned its gaze, as if it knew the untold maze. No sign, no trace for feet to find, just echoes stitched inside the mind. It's not a place you leave behind, it hides inside the in-between, a nameless pool, a faded hope, a story buried, never told, somewhere never told, never seen, where memories forget to mean. No walls, no keys, no open gate, just moments lost beneath the weight. I feel it burn, I feel it near, but still it lives outside the clear. I reach for signs that weren't quite there, just hints suspended in the air. The wind replied but turned away, as if the truth had none to say. It's not the loss that haunts me most, but how it lingers like a ghost, a place unnamed, untouched, unclaimed, still holding what I never named, somewhere never told, never seen, where memories forget to mean. No walls, no keys, no open gate, just moments lost beneath the weight. I feel it burn, I feel it near, but still it lives outside the clear. It breathes within the things unsaid, the almost hanging by a thread. I stand between what was and might, still chasing something out of sight, somewhere never told, yet it stays just past the edge of yesterdays. No light to trace, no map to find, still I return, still I rewind. A silent world, I walk alone, where every step feels like my own. Still unknown, still untold, still alive but growing cold.
Colors broke where silence grew, scattered pieces pale and few. The sky once held a louder song, but time forgot where they belong. The edge of dust felt like a plea, a quiet fold in memory.
No stars remain, no maps were right. Just fading breath between the light. It wasn't loss, it wasn't flame, just air that never felt the same. What once was vast now feels too near, a hush too deep to disappear. These are the remains of the sky, where names dissolve, where echoes lie. A streak of blue, a ghost of fire, a truth too far, a soft desire. The clouds don't speak, the wind won't stay, but something still won't drift away. The silence wasn't made to heal, just left to press on what we feel. No storm to break, no rain to cleanse, just space that never made amends. And in that vast unspoken dome, I traced the shape I called my own. Not made of stars, not pulled by flight, but held by what once felt like right. These are the remains of the sky, where names dissolve, where echoes lie. A streak of blue, a ghost of fire, a truth too far, a soft desire. The clouds don't speak, the wind won't stay, but something still won't drift away. I never learned the sky's farewell, just stood beneath its quiet shell. What flew above is not what stayed, but still I watch what never fades. These are the remains that stay unseen, a space between what might have been. They hold no light, they bear no flame, but still they speak without a name. Not gone, not whole, not truly high, just living in the broken sky. Still they drift, still they glow, the sky that never let me go. The clocks don't move beneath the sky, they rest where memory goes to die. No ticking sounds, no shifting shape, just hours that forgot they fade. No yesterday, no noon, no dawn, just echoes of what should have gone. A hush too deep for bells to ring, where even silence cannot cling. They once were loud, they once would shine, but now they fold beneath the line. No flame to chase, no wind to keep, just empty chairs where the days sleep. Where the days sleep, no shadows fall, no names remain upon the wall. The light stands still, the sky won't break, and every breath feels half awake. What once was bright now barely keeps a life that fades where the days sleep. I've walked through time without a trail, each moment ghosted, growing pale. I leave no step, I bear no sound, just drifting slow where none is found. They dream of heat, of dust, of song, of hours that dare to stay too long. But dreams collapse when they're too deep and vanish whole where the days sleep. Where the days sleep, no shadows fall, no names remain upon the wall. The light stands still, the sky won't break, the days sleep. No echo stirs the heavy air, no truth remains untouched by care. They lie in folds the dark won't show, too tired to rise, too soft to know. Where the days sleep I sometimes stay, a ghost of fire that lost its way. No clock to wound, no sun to miss, just space where time forgets to kiss. And in that quiet, deep and steep, I rest beside where the days sleep. Still they drift, still they slide, still they burn from deep inside.